had only told my girlfriend, Willow, that I wanted to break up. And suddenly, she became a completely different person. She stopped being entangled with her childhood sweetheart. No matter how late I got off work, she would wait for me at home. She started caring about my health, my diet, even cooking for me herself. When she found out I was interested in photography, she stayed up late studying professional camera gear, just to recommend the perfect lens for me. But my heart had already gone cold. I even moved to the suburbs, an hour and a half away from her company, just to cut off all contact once and for all. What I never expected was that the very next day, she would move into the apartment right across the hall from mine. And from that day on, she never begged me to change my mind again. We became neighbors, with the most delicate relationship in the world. I never thought that on the day we were supposed to celebrate our anniversary, Willow would be 2 hours late. And what surprised me even more was seeing her childhood sweetheart, Makoto, personally making her a cup of latte art coffee. Every gaze in the cafe slowly turned toward me. They were waiting to see how I would react. I calmly lifted my Americano, took a sip, put on a smile. "Impressive skills," I said lightly. "So, when did you two get together?" Makoto glanced at me, pride flickering in his eyes. "Willow said you've been busy with work, so I came with her first." Willow quickly added, "George, I'm sorry. Makoto just happened to be nearby." I gently shook my head. "It's fine. Seeing an old friend on our anniversary isn't bad at all. How about another hug? I can even help you take a photo." Last month, at Makoto's startup celebration, Willow had taken time off work just to accompany him. When I questioned why she was always so close to him, she accused me of being overly suspicious. "They're just childhood friends," she said. We didn't talk properly for half a month after that. Yesterday, Willow sent me the cafe reservation details. Understood. It was her way of extending an olive branch. Every time we argued, I was always the one who broke the silence. And after we reconciled, she would give me a small gift, or be especially gentle for a day. And just like that, I would forget everything. For years, our relationship had been like this. She would slap me once, then give me a piece of candy, and I would let it all go. The warmth and coldness of our love were entirely under her control. I was just a kite, and she held the string. But this time, when I saw her message about the anniversary, I felt nothing. No excitement. In the past, I would remind her days in advance, afraid she might forget. This time I didn't remind her, yet she remembered. All I replied was, "Okay. See you at the cafe tomorrow." Then I went back to coding. Normally, even a small gesture from her would make me happy for half a day. But not this time. Seeing Willow and Makoto sitting together, laughing freely, seeing that relaxed expression on her face, one I rarely saw when she was with me, my heart was unexpectedly calm. No disappointment, no anger, no jealousy, just relief. So, this is how it is. I waited another hour. Willow chatted with me absent-mindedly, her eyes constantly drifting toward Makoto. Finally, I checked my watch. I promised a colleague I'd fix a bug. I need to head out. She frowned slightly. "On such an important day, you're working overtime?" Smiled. "It's fine. You've got Mr. Ito keeping you company anyway." After leaving the cafe, I opened my browser and searched Professional Photographer Certification Exam Registration. I've always loved photography, but over the past few years, trying to fit into Willow's schedule, I had almost given it up. That night I went home, washed up, and went straight to bed. In the middle of the night, I heard the door open. Willow was back. She walked softly to the bedside and stood there for a long time. I could feel her gaze resting on me, but I pretended to be asleep. Maybe she was wondering why I didn't, like before, turn on all the lights and wait for her. Why I didn't question her about spending so long with Makoto. In the past, whenever I questioned her, she would look at me coldly, her eyes filled with impatience, with disdain. For the past few years, my only life goal had been marrying Willow. I had planned everything in my mind, the proposal, the apartment, the future. Every overtime shift, every compromise, every silent apology. All of it was for that one ending. But somewhere along the way I lost myself. That night, as I adjusted my camera lens and reviewed the photos I had taken earlier, I realized something strange. I looked happier in those city reflections and sunset shadows than I had felt in years. Meanwhile, the Cold War at home continued. Willow didn't try to talk to me again. Neither did I. We moved around the apartment like polite strangers. Our conversations were reduced to the bare minimum. Simple, emotionless exchanges. Did you use the washing machine? Yes. Are you working late? No. That was it. No tension. No arguments. No affection either. Just emptiness. One evening, I returned home to find the apartment unusually quiet. The guest bedroom door was open. Her closet looked lighter too. Not completely cleared out. Just enough to show that she had started moving things away little by little. I stood there for a long moment. In the past, even the thought of her leaving would have made my chest tighten with panic. But now, there was only a faint ache. Like touching an old bruise that no longer truly hurt. Later that night she finally spoke. George, have you been happier these past few days? Her voice was calm, but there was something underneath it. Something uncertain. I didn't look up from my laptop. I've just been busy. That's not what I meant. Silence stretched between us. Then she said quietly, you don't ask about Makoto anymore. I paused for a second. There's nothing to ask. That answer seemed to unsettle her more than any accusation ever had. In the past, my jealousy proved I cared. Now, my indifference proved I didn't. And that frightened her. For years, I had been the one afraid of losing her. Now the balance had shifted. She walked toward me slowly. George, if I really moved out, would you stop me? The old me would have stood up immediately. Would have grabbed her hand. Would have said something dramatic like, don't go. I can't live without you. But this time, I closed my laptop gently, looked at her, and said honestly, if that's what makes you happy. The room fell completely silent. For the first time, I saw something in her eyes I had never seen before. Fear. Everything else suddenly felt unimportant. I used to believe in the most naive way, that as long as I could build a family with Willow and take care of our small, ordinary life together, that would be the greatest happiness. If she had asked me to quit my job and stay at home, I would have agreed without hesitation. Now that way of thinking seemed utterly